out. 1 second. Hear me? We will wait for people to enter the room before we start, just so we can get a little mic check. See, this is why you guys are important. Currently, behind this biofold, I have my 16-year-old wiping down the shower, and I'm going to steam it later after this. Yeah, so that's what's happening behind the curtain. So the intention for this video is to do a full moon and Capricorn collective read, but also because I had a little arrival in the mail today. So we're going to be deck bonding. So originally I was planning to do like an unboxing reveal on Instagram, but I don't know, I felt pulled in a different direction, and I wanted to bond with the deck anyway. And so I already opened the box, but I haven't like done a full-blown reading. I did shuffle and kind of play with it and see what would come out and just, you know, kind of browse the deck, but I'm excited for this one because this is by a small business creator on Instagram. I didn't realize that we were following each other, and I just recently started getting into building my own tarot deck myself with the major arcana and morphing my poetry into it. And so finding another fellow tarot card maker and tarot card reader and artist and poet was amazing to me. So I'm really excited for that. I don't want to start like digging into all of it until there's more people here. I was hoping to catch people in different time zones. Typically people in like the Midwest and like New York, places like that, they would normally be on right now. This is another deck that's going to be featured here. I don't use this very often, but being that I'm going to show you guys a tarot deck that's slash poetry, I figured a storytelling deck would be, you know, kind of, how would you describe it? I just feel like they would mesh well together. Do you know what I'm saying? Like a poetry deck with a storytelling deck. I just lean towards a few decks personally myself, but I do have a lot, you guys. Like underneath this desk, I have like 2 tiers of tarot decks, and then I have another box that holds a bunch of other oracle decks, but I'm trying not to go past that. I do donate decks to other fellow lightworkers and friends, and I do plan to like do little giveaways as we go along, because I've been doing tarot readings for 5 years as a tarot reader. And, you know, as an artist myself, I really bond with decks and connect with the art illustrations. So as like that energy kind of fizzles out, I feel called to purge my stuff, and I kind of talk about my minimalist journey and me kind of putting a cap on consumerism, especially with the state of our world, but we won't get into that. But yeah. Hey, Evan and JC and Ryan. Thank you. I appreciate that. Well, if you're new here, hi, my name is Allie. I'm a tarot reader and intuitive coach. I've been a reader for about 5 years, since 2020, but I felt the spiritual call a little earlier. These kind of modalities and philosophies weren't always in my life. And so if you're curious about how I became a tarot reader, a lot of people were kind of shocked when it came out. I was like a closeted reader. So I do have an about me video on my awakening journey and how I started getting into tarot, but also reading for others, which I believe is a big difference. Anybody can buy a tarot deck. You don't have to be spiritual at all, and you could still probably get a message out of it just on your own without even reading a tarot book. Like, if you just look at an art illustration, you should be able to get some kind of idea of like what it's saying to you. But the more intuitive you are and the more shadow work, which we can talk about a different day, the more you do that, the more messages will come out of cards and they can talk all day. And so I kind of wanted to, when I branched into YouTube, I kind of wanted to get more into those kind of topics. I didn't want to be one of those readers that's pushing out like 5 readings a day, multiple times a week, and to each their own, no shame. But I feel like what's fulfilling to me is seeing people make changes in their lives and make an impact, and being able to witness someone's journey it fills my heart. Is anybody feeling this full moon? Okay, so before I get into the tarot poetry deck, we're going to talk about the Capricorn full moon that is today. It's 3 p.m. my time, so technically it has just hit my time zone. So this is from Map Your Soul Astrology. I think they're on Facebook, but I figured this is pretty good information, so we might as well give it a go, right? Okay, today we have a full moon in Capricorn just after 1:30 p.m. and after almost a week of the moon being mostly void, disconnected, and emotionally adrift to this moment, hits a bit like an interrogation light being swung straight into our eyes. It feels like a sudden and dramatic reconnection, a spotlight moment, not really a soft union. The moon meets the sun in the Cancer-Capricorn axis, and it feels less like a warm parental embrace and more like being asked to explain yourself, especially around the theme of emotional responsibility. Are you guys feeling that? The emotional responsibility part? Okay, well, I'm going to continue to the rest of the paragraphs because this is actually quite long. I'm going to shuffle. So we've been building towards this since the Cancer new moon at the end of December. At that time, Mars was still retrograde in Leo at 2 degrees and preparing to enter Cancer. This Mars retrograde period was filled with breakdowns in communication, families, splintering, and emotional flare-ups that felt like they were much more about than just the moment itself, but instead filled with the pain of long-standing wounds. Families fractured, connections dissolved, and truths were either spoken or weaponized in a way that changed the dynamic entirely. Wow. So I actually didn't read all of this before. I'm just saying it now. And I'm kind of blown away because that's literally what's happening in my life, you guys. This full moon may bring some of that back up to the surface for another check-in. Oh, man. No, thank you. You might get a call out of the blue from someone involved. Oh, geez. An apology, a request for closure, or it might just be a revival of the smear campaign someone never got tired of running. Is anyone feeling that? I am going to do a collective read, and I am going to do 3 free readings at the end of this video, and then the rest can be donate what you can readings if you guys would like. Where did we leave off? Oh, we were talking about the smear campaign. Regardless of how it shows up, don't be surprised to feel that scab picked open again sometime this afternoon. Why? Because this full moon lands at 18 degrees Capricorn, directly opposite of the sun at 18 degrees Cancer. Mars transited back at 17 degrees Cancer during his retrograde, just 1 degree off today's full moon. Continuing. Oh man, you guys, this is long. Tonight the moon goes void again shortly after the full opposition widens. This evening is best used for quiet reflection, peacemaking with yourself, or tender, intentional conversations with those who have earned the right to share your space. I feel that. I feel that. If someone calls you with nonsense, decline it. Turn your phone off. No matter how right you may be, you'll never get through to them on a night like tonight. Today's transits do not provide the best backdrop for trying to reason with anyone, especially if their goal is to win, not resolve. Jupiter is barely hanging onto a square with Saturn as his only aspect connection, suggesting optimism is tethered to the hard reality of limitations. Venus' only connection is Venus's only connection is a strange square to Mars, stirring confusion between love and frustration, sweetness and resentment. Wow, that's lovely. Mercury remains completely unaspected into Leo, still connected to Sirius in a trine aspect. He's a fiery and uncomfortable, but too disconnected for you to rationalize where all that unease is exactly coming from. So if something did blow up for you in the Mars retrograde, December 2024 to February 2025. So this is why I teach my intuitive coaching clients to journal things, because as the planets move and when we have retrogrades, it is very telling what is going on in your life. So if you're really good at pattern recognition, you should be able to see something come up from around that time. So like a relationship that crumbled or a truth shattered your sense of security, use today to reflect on how far you've come since then. Have you bloomed? Have you been able to grow in the aftermath of what you have lost? If so, celebrate that. It's no small thing to rebuild after such a sense of betrayal and loss. On the flip side, if you haven't made such progress and you feel stuck, take tonight and ask yourself with brutal honesty, am I holding out hope that they will change? As a result of this, have I unintentionally handed over my power yet again to them by waiting for someone else to give me closure I deserve or the permission I feel like I need to move on? Or was I actually the one who did harm? Did I abandon my own integrity? And if so, is now the right time to make amends? If it was that last one, that's brave as hell to admit. You don't have to rush to fix it all today. Sit with the uncomfortable truth instead. Find a therapist or a confidant who can help you get some insight into what's happened, an unbiased perspective about what the next steps can look like, or an intuitive coach. Gather your tools, work through it, and when you're ready to follow up and show up differently with your new skills and have the hard conversations, this process requires humility, not urgency. That's what a lot of people are feeling, that pull to make a choice or take action. But I would also recommend that do not take action. Take a step back. This isn't about how fast you go at this moment. This is more about reflection. So full moons are culmination points. They're a peak moment in the emotional and spiritual journey we've been on since the new moon in the same sign. They reveal what's been growing under the surface, building up inside of us, and what's finally ready to be in the conscious light. They're not just about release or performance, they're a totality point. We wax and wane and expand and contract. We move through seasons of avoidance and seasons of understanding. And all of it is part of the greater work. You are allowed to grow, to change your mind. More importantly, you are allowed to be wrong and are still so deeply worth of healing. Today, please protect your peace even when the past comes knocking. That's a pretty powerful message. Okay. Closing that up. Let's get into the collective read real quick, and then we'll get into a little bit with the tarot deck that I just got from a small business on, well, she's on Etsy, but I found her on Instagram. Show me, what does the collective need to know? Show me 3 cards. Show me 3 cards. 9 of Wands. That's more than 3 cards. 8 of Coins. The Wheel of Fortune. See how pretty this deck is, you guys? The World. Judgment. Knight of Coins. And that's the 9 of Wands. Oh, I love this cow. Look at this cow. Nine of Wands, definitely about protecting your peace. Definitely about loyalty, integrity, principles, values. And Judgment also being a review. Well, I mean, it's pretty obvious. I feel like, but I guess if they gave me the message, I gotta say it. um, the collective is under judgment. It's a review of something that we've been through together in the world. Okay, I'm hearing my tarot mentor's voice. So she did a little transmission video this morning that she asked to have us all push out her group, her network. She did mention the change in our weather. How a lot of people are seeing nature and birds responding differently, animals behavior changing, cats running away from home, sometimes trying to travel towards like bodies of water in Florida for whatever reason. They're just acting strange, and a lot of people are noticing, like, I don't know, they're just either they're trying to give us a message, or they're looking for safety. That's coming up. And what they're highlighting is lack of empathy, lack of male leadership. There's an over dominance and a rigidity when it comes to the collective's issues. Feeling trapped, but it's more about a mentality. Feeling like we don't have enough money. Well, ain't that true in America, right? A lot of people feeling like moving, traveling, seeing where else they could reroute. And this could have a lot to do with finances and resources. Ace of Coins. I do predict, and a lot of light workers have said this, there's going to be a big boom of unions, partnerships, and these partnerships that are coming into union long term, they have been slow growing. Some of them might be shocking, apparently, to other people around them, but there is a deeper purpose for this. It's almost like, our soul is exhausted from an old experience and it's being called to somewhere new. And a lot of those are soul contracts with other people. Can we discern who is for us and who has the same, I want to say frequency, but I'm hearing more so like loyalty, like equally yoked kind of relationships. Nine of Swords, Nine of Coins, wanting to feel free around the people that you surround yourself with. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember that feeling of always being overscheduled and always busy and always having these obligations, especially to family and friends. And at some point it feels like they weigh you down because you're catering to other people's needs. And a lot of the patterns I'm seeing in people's readings, and it even got brought up between me and my mentor, is other people's dreams. A lot of the times we can get carried away into investing into a dream that changes, or investing into someone else's dream, and then realizing that you never wanted that for yourself. Or, oh shoot, they didn't reciprocate in my dream. And then you look at them and they're like, well, I never asked. That tends to be my my personal experience, but people really thinking about their own personal dreams, their own independence, their autonomy, and, are the people around them supporting that? All right, now that we got the collective read out of the way, let's talk about this deck. So, this is by Sarah Grace Stassi, tarot reader, medium, and artist. Oh, she has a message on the back and I didn't even read it. Thank you so much for your purchase. Enjoy the lovely decks. I also drew a card for you from the vintage Oracle deck. Aw, I love that. And then she gave me 2 stickers that I'm trying to figure out what to do with, but they're so cute. Honestly, like a lot of her designs, I feel like are very similar to mine, the things that I go for. So this is the deck. I was gonna grab the mic, but you see how colorful they are? This is the front. Here's the owls. So this is very, very specific. I would say unless you feel like you're naturally psychic and you feel really pulled towards colors and art illustration, poetry, this deck is for you. Otherwise, if you don't understand tarot or anything like that, if you're a beginner, this is not a beginner deck. Maybe. When I got into tarot, it was more about art illustrations. I never read a tarot book. I still have not. I have taken an online tarot class, but I would say I'm more of a channeler with tarot readings instead of like looking at basic descriptions of cards, because there's so much that goes into that. Time goes blooming around the edges. So this is the kind of deck where like you can sit for hours in contemplation. You know what I'm saying? And so I got a bundle. This is the mini deck it came with, but you can buy them separately on Etsy. So this is the front. Says deep watercolors are generally solitary. Mercury retrograde, you guys. I can never talk. Hey, Elijah. When the small water moves, they do not eat. Sure. So, I'm not sure how long it's going to take me to bond with this deck specifically. It did take me, it took me a second to kind of bond with the Gypsy deck. I feel like that's a very specific kind of deck that's not for everyone. Yeah, thank you. She's on Instagram. Sarah Grace. Okay, so since we're deck bonding, we're going to open up the readings. 3 free readings for anyone in the chat. 1 question. And then if you would like to donate what you can to my Cash App and Venmo, I can do 1 question for $555. I don't really know how traffic is going to be today since, you know, I'm technically a pretty new reader on YouTube. Ooh, cards fell out. You could add more rejuvenating berries. Look at that. It's a lobster. Water cannot explain, it often wanders. Always look directly into time. Interesting. I have like been having like this weird sense of time lately. So that's definitely coming out and everything that just fell out. I kind of feel like I'm in between timelines. Gosh, I cannot talk today. Does anyone have a question? And I can use these cards that I just got. Where's Montaigne? Did you have a question? Is she still here? Flame of the soul. Question, any guidance on how to deal with family? I'm not going to the family reunion this weekend, avoiding them and the drama. Dude, I feel you. We're on the same boat. Oh my gosh. Oh, well, you just like missed the beginning of this video, so when it posts, rewatch it, and I talk about all of that. I did a little astrology segment, but yeah, let's get into it. Show me any guidance on how to deal with Elijah's family? Two of coins. Strength. Seven of coins, but it came out in reverse. Queen of swords in reverse. Page of swords. The tower. It like fell upside down. Or not upside down. Like, I can't talk today, you guys. Queen of swords, but it was in the reverse. Seven of coins. Strength. Two of coins. The suggestion and the guidance. So funny, we're going through this. It's so funny because it hurts. I'm so tired of this, man, and I'm sure you are too. I'm like, you know, when I saw Saturn move, I was like, yay, because, you know, karmic BS and all that hard stuff I thought was done. And they're like, oh, no, wait, it's a review. And I'm like, oh, no, no, I don't want it. Your guidance is to be a wallflower, basically, Page of Swords. You're kind of noticing how things throw you off balance. Two of coins. Is it easy? No, it's taking bravery and strength. And I think the shock and the realization is no matter how hard you try, you know, these are the roots. Seven of coins. It was in reverse. And the loss of that, you know, there is a message here about not necessarily not speaking your truth and not necessarily holding back, but is it worth it when it puts you in the energy of the Queen of Swords in reverse? Because, I mean, Queen of Swords upright is already a bitch, to be honest. Like, she does not sugarcoat. But Queen of Swords in reverse, it tends to be like, you're right about what you're saying completely, but it's the delivery, and because of that, they're able to like gaslight you and continue the whole situation and argument and pull you into stuff because they're just not willing. You know what I'm saying? Let's pull the other deck just to see what it says. Show me more about Elijah's situation. The final result is always wild. Yeah, I thought of confronting some family, but I said no, be mature and remove immensely. Yeah. I did a little bit of both. And I was like, you know what? I can't do what I do last time. It's just, you know, that's how they suck you in. Individuals need different edges. Well, Wizard here to give you some comfort. Okay, this is funny because I haven't really looked at the whole deck, and so I don't know what to expect. Show me more. Show me at least one more, and then we'll get into the mini one. It says, popular feathers are more important. That's a pretty card. Okay, let's do the little one. Show me messages for Elijah's situation. Oh, I feel pulled to this one. This is at the bottom of the deck. It says, many even touch the final limit. You have a lot of owls in these cards. Higher wisdom, higher wisdom. Show me more for Elijah. You have one tact was more than habitable. These are so interesting, you guys. I don't think I've seen anything like this. Large forms frequently glided and looped. You know what I'm picking up from that one? There's something called word salad and narcissistic kind of dynamics. At least that's the term I found when like digging into psychology and stuff. And so, you know, you think you're starting off with one topic and then it turns into something completely different. I think that's like kind of what I'm picking up from that card. That is weird. Ooh, you had a lot. Okay, hold on. Cool cards, very unique. Yeah, this is very interesting. Learn to make bouquets for the identified grasses. What? What does that mean? Let's see. I think after this one, I probably won't buy another deck for at least a few months to 6 months. The old birds sort of ruffle their feathers. That sounds pretty fitting to the situation. Sometimes towering birds grow in other lands. Yet again, another owl. A nest or den may look like thorns. Aw. I don't like that. It's a good card, though. Experience the poetic feathers. They were eating perhaps the roots of the trees. Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting. I don't know what you pick up off of that, Elijah, but they were eating perhaps the roots of the trees. You see how, like, there's pennies underneath the turtle? How in the world did she come up with this? Tarot artists are so interesting. See the nest. Oh, see the rest of the gentle world. Oh, that's nice. Yes, please end this on a good note because I don't like that for you. I'm not done with you, Elijah. So like, this is my biggest question with like this going on in my life is like, so now what am I supposed to do? Where do you want me, you know? So what should he be focusing on? Like, what can he be doing? Let's see. Where is Elijah going? Where is he being pulled to? Strength. Justice. Knight of Wands. The Moon. The Queen of Wands. I'm like clenching my fists. Is there something you're really passionate about, Elijah? Like, it feels like some kind of like injustice. Like, I don't know what this is. So like, I feel like a mix of things. So working out, moving your body kind of things, getting yourself involved in like, groups or things that you're passionate about regarding like, all I can think about is the word justice, like literally. And the tree felt like thoughts to release. Owls feel right. Aww. Definitely getting into your inner witch, doing witchy things, following your passions. know. There's something about sharing your story, Elijah, with other people online, because there's actually people looking for you. So if you're like looking for new clients, because Elijah is also a an intuitive coach, a life coach, right? What you're seeking is seeking you. P.S. And maybe I feel like you don't. It's not like you don't share it with people, and it's not that you're afraid to. I don't know what this is, but there is something that holds you back from doing it. It's almost like because you feel like you're in the process, or that you guys are like still connected and these things keep coming up, that you feel like maybe you're not in the position to be sharing that in that way, is what I'm hearing. But I think because of that is why people feel pulled towards you, because no one really, no one else, I cannot talk, no one else can really express that in real time. Do you know what I mean? And some people are not always meant to, because it's so emotional. But I feel like the space that you're in now, Elijah, like you're in such a good place to be able to process that and then be able to share that with other people. Whereas before, it might have taken you weeks and months to be able to recover just by interacting with them. Is that making any sense? Blessings. We have a mama horn owl with 2 of her babies near our home. They are majestic looking. Oh, you're so lucky. That's lovely. I have had a lot of owl sightings in my life, and like during the day, which is apparently is unheard of. I don't know. How long have I been on? Almost 40 minutes. I wanted to do a love reading, but I don't know. My guides told me to hold off, so. It's got to be that Uranus and Gemini. It's creating a lot of unexpected shakeups, so what is the point in creating a video? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, what a blessing, really. Anyone else like noticing things out in nature and like the birds, or like feeling just like deeply connected to an animal or anything like that, or animal behavior? Paul, hello, I am curious. Can you do a reading on me with your deck of cards? I do have a couple more free one questions if you have a question. Are you new, Paul? Okay. Yeah, one more minute before I log off if no one else has a question. What is your question, Paul? Or do you just want me to pull cards and do a general? General? Okay. Show me, Paul. What do they need to know? We also have a wild duck couple that comes to our front yard many times during the day, and they just brought 2 of their babies. Aww, I love ducks. Duck watching has been a thing for me as of recent. Show me, Paul. I had a vision of someone frantically grabbing briefcases. Show me, Paul. That's a lot of cards. King of Coins. The Hierophant. The Star. Two of Wands. The Emperor. Three of Swords. The Chariot. Wow, that's really interesting message. Okay, let's dig into the Oracle deck. Show me, Paul. A useless struggle might just wear away. Wildflowers of the wayside crawl slowly. Practitioners working in the wild must migrate. Automatically, Paul, what I'm picking up is there's some kind of move with a business or money or a job change or position. So this is definitely a work, career, foundation kind of focus. Soak in a single one that makes beauty. Learn to make bouquets for the identified grasses. I still have no idea what that means. Among the delicate and bright cold water queens. You know, now that I think about it, I think I can move these cards in a way where it can form a sentence, maybe? Maybe? What do you guys think? Soak in a single one that makes beauty among the delicate and bright cold water queens. Wildflowers of the wayside crawl slowly. A useless struggle might just wear away. Practitioners working in the wild must migrate. This card definitely speaks to the overall energy in your reading, and the King of Coins being at the bottom of the deck of the tarot deck. So definitely job change, position change, competition. Ooh. I don't know if you like work in a corporate setting, Paul, or what's going on here, but someone's going to be found out. Someone hasn't been doing great things behind the scenes. And so you might suddenly find yourself in a position of a change, pretty much. Yeah, we'll do one more. You want to do a general? But that's what I got for you. So expect the unexpected, you guys, with Uranus and Gemini, which is, I'm pretty sure it's a long transit. So I'm like, oh, calm your nervous systems the best you can. Make sure not to overdo it with the information. It's more about discerning which is the correct information at this time. I feel like I'm going to be saying that for a long time, you guys. You're welcome. Life is all about changes. That is correct, but I think this is one that you were not expecting. Yeah, you were not planning this one for sure. Show me what's going on for blessings. What do they need to know? Hopefully more blessings. If you're new here, hi, my name is Allie. I'm a tarot reader and intuitive coach. For the past 5 years, I'm technically new to YouTube, but I'm more of a small reader on Instagram and Facebook groups. I do have a couple about me videos if you're curious on my awakening story, how I became a reader, because this was not always a thing for me. Or you can find me on Instagram if you'd like to connect more one-on-one. I like to kind of get to know my clients. Sometimes they're not always clients. Sometimes they're just people that watch tarot, but some of them are also light workers and readers. Show me blessings. What's going on for blessings? Nine of Swords, the Emperor, Page of Swords. Automatically, I just felt like the need to speak, but not being able to speak. So there is a conversation that needs to be had, but you feel like you don't have enough information. Queen of Wands. Show me more. Six of Swords, Five of Swords, Eight of Swords, a Ten of Swords. Ooh. Three of Cups. Five of Wands. I want to say this is love. Is this love? Your name is Dahlia. Well, you got a love situation here where you feel trapped, tied up, or that you can't speak. A conversation needs to be had, but you feel like you don't have enough information. Someone is looking at you. You're looking at them. This is kind of a battle of the egos, and neither of you are kind of winning here. My husband would disagree because complains that I do too much speaking. Really? Well, maybe that's the problem, right? Are you feeling refrained from speaking? Not at all. He's drinking too much. I'm going to be honest. You're not happy here. I don't like this for you. One second. I'm going to get into the oracle. So, it's so hard to be a reader sometimes, you guys, because some situations can be so complex, and how can you give advice on that kind of stuff? Show me more with the oracle. He lost his corporate job during COVID, and now he's in a very low-paying job. Do you work blessings? Because I see that happening, if not already. If you're not the provider already, you're going to be. My biggest issue is I don't even think you should be with this person, because this person is controlling. And I don't even think you realize how much he's restricting your voice. But slowly over time, if you don't recognize it now, he's going to take over your money. So him like not working right now is just like one of many steps in him. Like, you're the King of Pentacles in this situation when I did the tarot cards. I don't like it. I don't like it. Show me the oracle. Where the scales may refuse captivity. Is that going to focus? The air conditions are nearly visible. He's a very good person and dad, but he's been so depressed. I'm sorry. Planted with new stones. The clue to the winter is noteworthy action. Your guidance blessings is to take action on the situation, mostly to take care of yourself. If you're not going to make a decision about the relationship, I would say just be very careful. Protect yourself, protect your money. You are going to be probably the main provider and probably the stable one in the relationship for the next future, to be honest. I think he's going through a transition where the job loss thing is just the start, and I know that's hard. And you want to give people a chance to like kind of pull themselves up. I get it, especially when you got like a child with them. But I have to tell you what I see in the cards. I'm not going to lie. So far, I've never had anyone come to me that had a love reading with me and said that I was wrong. There might have been times where they thought I was wrong at first, but I always say, give it some time because I'm an Aquarius, and so I tend to see far out in the future, far, far out. I do tend to have issues with the steps ahead, but I don't anymore because as a reader, I've really been able to refine the way I ask questions, and so that's what I teach my clients as well. So you asked for that was a general message towards the situation and the message that wanted to come out. And the message that wanted to come out, I say that it's from your higher self and your guides. So you've been for the last 5 years. Well, you're a really strong person. Like, I see good energy from you in the cards. King of Pentacles is great. A really solid, stable person. Like, you're the head of the household, of the family. You're the one, to be honest. Like, can I marry you? But I wish you the best. Thanks everyone that was able to join. This was not planned. I just wanted to show you guys the new tarot deck and do a little full moon collective reading for you. But I'm going to log off now. You guys have a good rest of your night.